Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I hate this situation, but it seems like this piece of doesn't want to work properly, and I've been notified about it. And it seems like it just took a shit on me tonight. And while I was celebrating being with you, it decided that it's gonna be very, very low. All right, now I have to cover my pretty mouth now, like in this movie, if you're familiar with this one, the Deliverance with Burt Reynolds. Hey, you sure got a pretty mouth, if you know what I'm talking about. Well, my pretty mouth is gonna be right now covered by this fucking microphone, okay? Until I find what the fuck is going on. Hello. Alright, so what's going on here? We got a little problem. Not we, but Zelensky's got a little problem. And the problem is they can't conduct a counteroffensive on the Russian forces, according to Zelensky. Obviously, Zelensky is a beggar, and a beggar of money, and beggar like that for money, and he begs them, and he takes them with him. And he wants more money because he says, well, you don't give us money. If you give me more money, we cannot conduct your counteroffensive. And the Americans and the weasels in the West, and it's you and I, okay, we're going to give him some more money. Yeah, fight for freedom and love democracy and free jerk-offs. So we have here, let me just get off this Deliverance shit. I didn't watch the movie. I was forced to watch parts of it, I'll be honest with you. And why not? What do I have to lose? All right, so this is Zelensky explains why Ukraine can't start counteroffensive against Russian forces. The short answer is money, 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 money. All right, Kiev, Ukraine, Volodymyr. He's so serious. Look at this. Look at this guy. Anyway, he says an expected counteroffensive against Russian forces cannot happen now because his country lacks weapons, equipment, and ammunition. This should be this statement right here. Where is it? Because it lacks weapons and ammunition. This thing should be very, very insulting for you and I, and from whoever hello live in the West. I mean, this guy got more money than my kids, and now he wants more money because otherwise what? But hey, this is what we got in a democracy. You vote, they have 5 or 4 years of freedom, and do whatever fuck they want with you and I and our futures. So he wants more money for the counteroffensive. It's your fault and my fault and probably your kids and my kids and grandkids and all that. So let's see what's here. We have the next thing. Oops, let me get you my right there. And we have here Kiev independent. Zelensky, Ukraine can't start counteroffensive yet due to weapons shortages. Whose fault is that? You and I. Our fault, okay? Fault. We cannot send them our troops under such conditions. Blah 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 blah. But we have this smart guy. I think he's smart, but I don't know exactly what the hell he's doing over there and how in the hell he's got elected as a new Czech president. He predicted the decrease in West support for Ukraine. Well, I'm not a general as you, sir, but I predicted that a long time ago, and it was not only some others and I, because it was very obvious. Czech President Petr Pavel has said that Ukraine should take into account the decrease of Western support in the future. No shit, it's an impossibility. He said that in an interview with Zudenche. Zeitung, as European Prada reported, and I'm quoting, "We have to take into account war fatigue and what it means for support from Western countries. It will decrease over time." Yes, we knew that. He also mentioned that 2024 U.S. presidential election and the expected focus on domestic politics. That's true. He's not an idiot right here. So take a snapshot on him. He's not an idiot. And I'm quoting, if U.S. support decreases, support from a number of European countries will also decrease. Ukraine should take this into account, Pavel noted. Correct. You're a smart guy. Or at least normal. Therefore, in Pavel's opinion, it's not an opinion, assessment. Ukraine will probably not be able to start any large and complex operations in 2024. How about 2023, my man? This year is crucial for war development, the Czech president said. According to Pavel, Western countries are now supplying Ukraine with the necessary weapons so that it can take a better starting point position for any negotiations with the Russian Federation. That ship has sailed in October, November, September, when the Ukrainians had that successful counteroffensive for the winter. So, bye-bye. Petr Pavel believes that the next few months are the best time for Ukraine to launch counteroffensive against Russian troops in the occupied territories. Well, I don't think they can. And, we'll see, actually. What do you think? We have the same... let me sing a little bit for you here. I think that will be obvious that the Ukrainians will not be able, and there's too many things that converge. Like Petr Pavel said, the U.S. 2024 election, the high inflation, the unemployment, the lower productivity, the economy is, losing it, the lowering in the standard of living of the Western countries, and whenever you have an election, you see, you have all these guys in the free world, so-called, being in the 30s, not as a year, unless we have the Finland tiny dancer, the pole dancer, Can you believe that? Sad but true, as what's his name, Metallica song. Sad but they're in the 20s and the 30s in their approval rating polls. So that means they don't have the imperium. They don't have the legality to rule. I mean, if you have only, let's say 22, as I know, Prime Minister of Japan has, or Olaf Scholz, or Macron right now is in deep doo-doo. How in the hell where do you get your imperium, the legality of voting, of leading or being in charge? I tell you where. From the vote that you cast, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago. So that gives all these guys a blank check to do what they're doing right now. And these are the consequences of mass democracy. I really, really urge you to read Plato. And not only Plato, but what Plato and Socrates already also said about democracy, and how this kind of mass democracy is detrimental actually to a society, because it leads to this kind of people who will promise things, and then they're voted based on their charisma or their looks or their big, not even that in reality, but the perceived one, because it's covered by the media with money provided by the interest. So this is the mass democracy for us. Things should be changed if we, which is the citizens, not them, they are doing just fine. If we are to have a just society, or at least exclude as much as as possible the BS from all these so-called ideals. Yes, Ukraine will lose steam right now. We've been told that Russia has been losing this war since it started, and somehow these guys are evacuating. These guys being the Ukrainians. Don't get me wrong. There's not the Ukrainian nation's fault at all. The Russians, no. I'm upset to say, and angry, I gotta tell you. It doesn't look like, but I don't look like because I have my medicine here, and it's a good sweet wine. It's because these guys are dictating and creating problems between brothers, and that's not right. All these things would have been solved before 2014, before the coup that occurred in Kiev with the help of democracy-loving countries that recognized a group of traitors, by definition, who overthrew a legitimate, democratically elected government of Ukraine. However you want to take it, corrupt as many, it was functioning, it was elected. what happened after that? So anyway, I feel sorry for the nations, for the regular people. I don't feel sorry for the leaders and the traitors. No, they should get what they deserve based or according to the laws of the land. Like, if I violate a speed limit, then yes, I should be ticketed. The same thing, if you're a traitor, then you should be kept in place and ask for money and be given money so you can conduct a counteroffensive. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, no counteroffensive. Or maybe he's just playing dead, and then all of a sudden he's going to just jump up, like in the movies where, I don't know, Bruce Lee gets punched for 5 minutes straight, and in the last minute he kicks 100 people's butt. Yeah, but those are movies. Maybe that's going to be the case here, but I don't think Zelensky is anything like that. I mean, they're both actors, Bruce Lee and Zelensky, but hey, we'll see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.